Whispering Pines Summer Camp is twinned with the town of Sheridan. Visit Sheridan for its historic cobble market street, or the frankly improbable variety of rare birds found in the town's ancient woodland. If you want some quiet time, why not check out our local library? It has a whole wing donated by noted horror writer Calistaria Softbinding. Just be careful which books you check out. Some of them are real killer reads. Audio tours of Sheridan, guided by knowledgeable locals, are available from the Merely Roleplayers podcast. Visit merelyroleplayers.com for more information, or search your usual podcasting app for Merely Roleplayers. Hello and welcome to What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast, hosted by me, Fiona. This week I am joined by the cast of Merely Roleplayers, Matt, Nat, Josh and Strat for a one-shot of Sleepaway, a game of horror, dreams and summer camp, written by J Dragon. In Sleepaway, players play as camp counsellors at a not-so-ordinary summer camp, which has been besieged by a strange and ominous cryptid. Isolated from civilization, the summer camp is seen by many as a beacon of safety, a refuge for misfit kids defined by their marginalisation. As time pushes past, this camp also shelters survivors of that cryptid, known as the Lindworm, a shapeshifter that flays the skin of humans and hides within. As counsellors of the summer camp, the players have each been traumatized by the Lindworm in their own way. They remember little of that time. All they know is that they don't want anyone else to suffer at the hands of the Lindworm, and they will do anything to keep the camp safe, no matter what the cost. You can find out more information about Sleepaway and J Dragon's other projects on Ichigo. I'll add links to it on the What Am I Rolling website and in this episode's show notes. As Sleepaway breaks up quite nicely into distinct sections, I'll go into each section before each part of the one-shot. One last thing before we begin. Naturally, there are times in this one-shot where the players and myself, mostly myself, get the rules wrong or forget something plot-wise. Whilst we always endeavour to stick to the rules wherever possible, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes, and what matters most is that everyone enjoys themselves. So, let's start with character creation. Before the game can begin, each player must choose one of the character sheets to play and read the character introduction aloud for all to hear. Each player can start answering questions about their character, including what kind of eyes they have, what kind of body they have, what their gender is, and anything about their history and present. They will also choose a specific name and a set of pronouns which will be referred to in play. Finally, players will read their character's lore aloud and make sure the other players know it. Hello everyone and welcome to, what will be Sleepaway, our Whispering Pines. First thing we're going to do is look at our characters. So if we'll go round the table, if we start with Matt, can you read out your character playbook and then we can go through the character creation for each character?
So I'm playing the lifeguard, and my little narrative is that some people become lifeguards to avoid having to do the hard work at camp, but the lifeguard is not one of those people. It takes a special kind of strength to be willing to drop everything and jump into the waves to save a kid you've never met before. The lifeguard is here to protect their friends and the camp, weathering everything the universe could throw at them with the same dogged smile. The lifeguard is an unbreaking individual. Their power is in mutual aid, physical defense, and self-sacrifice.
Brilliant. So let's go for the character creation for you. So if you scroll down to the bottom, we'll do everything apart from the questions because we'll come back once everyone's character has been done. So what are you doing for your name?
Do you want me to read all the options for names or just the one I've picked?
I guess because we're all going to go through it. Read some of the options that speak to you, or and then choose one. It's however you wish to do it.
Yeah, I mean, all of the lifeguard name options are quite brisk and abrupt. So I've gone with a sharp name, and I think the sharp name that I'm going to go with is Pat. And Pat's pronouns Let's go with they, them. Eyes. I'm going to go with hardened eyes to go with the sharp name. For body, I will choose coiled body. And gender, the gender options that this game gives are just amazing. I think to go with all of those, I think Pat's gender is lighthouse in the darkness.
Oh, amazing.
Childhood fear. I think Pat's childhood fear is diseases undetected until it's too late. Things that are like invisible and that you can't like physically tackle someone out of the way of or save them from. An outside relationship. Pat has an old house that they think of as home outside the camp. And the final one, choose what keeps you working here. I like the story potential of you've forgotten why but want to remember.
Ooh. Oh, very good. Oh, nice. Really good, really good. All right, Nat.
Yes.
What playbook are you going for?
I'm going with the Crafter. And the Crafter believes there is magic in the world. The magic of the secret places that want to grow and thrive. All things are connected by this magic. Even the Lindworm, as horrific as it is, must be connected to this order somehow. The Crafter is responsible for teaching arts and crafts to campers, but is more importantly responsible for cultivating their sense of magic and connection to the arcane. Crafters listen to the call of the universe and respond with their own creative expression. The Crafter is a quirky individual. Their power is in the subtle magic of the world, information from the greater world, and skill at creating new art. So immediately, I just love the potential of absolutely bonkers Professor Trelawney type here.
That is exactly what I was thinking as well when I read that. Well, fantastic. Well, let's get started with your character then. So what name are you thinking of? What type?
So the types that it's given me, I can either have a unique name, a tongue twister name, a word that is normally not a name, and a name chosen to confuse. And I love the idea of a word that is not normally a name, and I wish I could come up with something immediately. I might have to come back to that if that's all right.
Absolutely, go for it.
But I feel she's definitely a she, her. And actually, skipping down, I will come back to the look, but skipping down to the describe your gender, because I just want to come to those options again, because they are amazing. So we have Priestess Femme, which I think is what I'm going to go with. I'm thinking Kate Bush in the forest. But she is all waft. I have played a wafty character before on the Merely Roleplayers, and I feel like this is my true calling. Other options I could have had a grass lad, a turtle, a cloud over the sun, a particular colour, and tree kisser, which I feel is a bit on the nose. So we're going to go with Priestess Femme. And in terms of looks, I could have gleaming, mismatched, bright, honest, or exhausted eyes. I think I'm going to go gleaming, because magic, obviously.
Magic. Oh, because magic. Justification there.
Yeah. And she has a body built for listening.
Ooh.
It's open, it's ready to receive.
Oh, right. Oh, definitely Kate Bush then.
Yeah.
Not just
exactly.
that you have massive ears.
Like
that
big elephant
too.
ones.
Yeah. Okay, childhood fears. Oh, wow. Okay. Flayed by wolves, drowning in a lake and no one hearing, getting caught kissing someone you shouldn't. That feels very basic. Teeth falling out and you can't explain why, and the plot of Home Alone. I feel like it's got to be drowning in a lake and no one hearing.
Ooh.
She's feeling those Ophelia vibes. And choose your craft. Ooh. Augury, rune magic, hexes and blessings, staring at fire. Not doing anything with fire, just staring at it. Embodied spellcraft, dream journeys, promises and protective wards. I feel like protective wards might be helpful. Not that I'm metagaming or anything.
What are you talking about? We're at summer camp. Nothing's
going to go wrong.
No.
I do quite like staring at fire, though.
That'd be really nice if you were also the fire marshal and you're in charge of making sure there aren't any fires and you just stare at it.
Don't worry, I've got this, and just stare.
Trying to put it out with your mind.
I'm gonna go with staring at fire.
Yes.
No protection for anyone. Traits of the craft. Oh.
And this, you get to pick 2 of these.
Traits of the craft of staring at fire. Interesting. Okay, so I've got, it cannot be used to lie, it cannot be used to spill blood, cannot cause death in any form, cannot be used with modern technology, cannot be taught easily. I quite like that. I stare in the fire, no one has any idea what I'm doing, and I can't give that knowledge to anyone else. Like, it's too difficult to learn how to stare at fire.
I like the idea. You have like the campers in front of you, like, you're doing it wrong. You know, like slap the back of their heads.
My eyes hurt. And I feel like it cannot be used with modern technology as well. You can't look at fire through a phone.
It's not the same. Really,
it's not the same. No.
Brilliant. And have you managed to think of a name at all?
Now then, based on all of that, Ember.
Ooh,
great.
Very good. Very, very good.
It's not Amber, because that would be too mainstream. Ember.
You just get them constantly saying, no, it's Ember, not Amber.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Which, especially if this is an American summer camp as well, like, no, it's Ember, not Amber.
Brilliant. Oh, well, welcome, Ember. Nice to meet you. Josh.
Hello.
What character playbook are you going for?
I'm going for the fresh blood, which isn't quite as creepy and sanguine as it sounds, I hope. Allow me to read for you. The fresh blood isn't really fresh. They've gone to this camp for longer than some of the administrators have worked here. They're fresh, however, in the sense that they only stopped being a counsellor in training this year. For the first time, they have to navigate their world anew. It is now full of strangeness, and they are surrounded by idols from their youth who have turned out to be not gods, but instead just regular people with regular lives and regular desires. The Lindworm has always been a campfire story, but watching their once mentors and newfound friends prepare for it feels impossible. The fresh blood is a naive individual. Their power is in youthful energy, genuine love untouched by age, and a heartfelt peer relationship with many of the campers.
Oh, very good. I definitely feel that myself. Like I'd be like, I don't know what to do at this point. So let's start. Obviously, the best place to start is with choosing your name. What names are you going for?
Okay, so I have 4 options here. I have a common name, a quiet name, a name that blends in easily, or a name chosen to not raise eyebrows. And I'm going to go for a quiet name. And so I'm choosing first name Cole, because that's quite a quiet name. Onomatopoeically, assonantly, it's not very hard. It's Cole. Flows quite nicely. And my surname is Lindberg.
Very good.
Cole Lindberg. And I'm metagaming slightly because I'm taking the first syllable of Lindworm into my own name, so that if this creature does appear, it freaks him the hell out. So Cole Lindberg.
I like it. I like it. You're like ready to stare down the Lindworm. I like it.
Am I the Lindworm? Who knows?
What pronouns does Cole go by?
Cole is he, him. Describe your look, eyes. I really like these options in this game, by the way. So the options for eyes are either chipper, feisty, playful, or earnest. I'm going to go with feisty eyes.
Nice.
A bit of energy behind those eyes. Describing my body, I've got either spry, lanky, chubby, or, and I quote, body that's still figuring itself out.
Nice.
And I'm going to go for lanky because I'm playing very much from type, and as a man that has been lanky most of his adult life, just seeing that word rings very true to me.
But do you have feisty eyes, though? That's what I want to know.
That's a very good question. I don't know. Nobody's ever described them as being feisty before, but I shall. I'll have to work on that.
Yeah, maybe that's what you're working on in this game. That's fine.
Maybe. Yeah, it seems like feisty would be wild and darting and a little bit unable to keep concentration. So maybe, who knows? I
always think feisty is like Doctor Who assistant, because that's what they're always described as. Like, oh, you know, the new feisty assistant. You're like, ugh.
But it's interesting. I've never heard the word feisty used to describe somebody who identifies as male. It's normally used to identify females. who are normally quite small as well, short of stature. So they're like feisty. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Though she be but little, she is fierce.
She is feisty, exactly. Sorry, taking it on a slight tangent.
That's all right.
My gender, I've got so many down here.
You do. I think the Fresh Blood has the most gender options.
Yeah. I'm going to put... I'm going to have to think about that because there are lots of adjectives there to describe the gender, so I might have to come back to that.
That's fine.
Choose my childhood fear. So my options are transforming into a wolf, going to school without any pants, suddenly becoming president of the United States, being told to carry something and not being strong enough, or being lied to. So there's a lot of wolf play going on with these character creations, I've noticed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I'm going to go with... going to school without any pants, surely that is most people's fear, unless you're something of an exhibitionist. That seems a little broad. I'm going to go with being told to carry something and not being strong enough.
Oh, wow. I like it.
I think that Cole has perhaps got some strength and body issues, and being lanky and not having the requisite muscle density. It's a real worry that one day he's not going to be able to... Yeah, he won't be able to lift something up. My next one is choose your natural talent. These are wonderful. Superb fairy houses, winning at 4 square, whatever that is. Sick flips on the rope swing. Well-timed puns, expert set design, and creative T-shirts.
The puns one puts some pressure on.
I was going to say, if you'd go for that one, I will be expecting puns. So.
I know, I might have to steer away from that one and disappoint everybody because I think I'll be putting too much pressure on myself. So I'm going to go with the one that made everyone laugh, I think, got the best reaction. Sick flips on the rope swing, bro.
Nice. Yeah.
Choose what you'll never live down. Did I get into a fight around the fire circle? Oh, the fire circle, interesting. Tried to kiss someone who wasn't into you. Oh, I know that feeling. Had a long-standing in-joke that wasn't very funny. A bit of a teenage heartthrob among the other campers. Ooh. Had no friends, except at camp. Had no friends, even at camp.
No friends, just doing those sick flips on the road.
Oh my god, yes!
No one is impressed by your sick flips.
Surely I'd have so many friends doing my sick flips. I'm going to go with had no friends except at camp because I don't want to start this game with everybody hating me. So I think that people back at home don't care about my sick flips, but people at camp are really impressed at my sick flips.
You are the cool kid in this particular spot. I like that.
I'll take it. I'm going to have to go out to describe your gender again, I think. So I'm going to go with the word full, as in the opposite of empty.
Brilliant. Excellent. Well, welcome, Cole.
Thank you.
Strats, what character did you go for this game?
I have gone for the Ropes Keeper, and on the Ropes Keeper, this has been written. The Ropes Keeper tends to the ropes course, the structure at the heart of the woods. They are an enigmatic. I can't talk today. They are they're just there. No one really knows anything about them.
I think they're mysterious.
They're an enigmatic staff member, one who prefers the company of the wooden beams and tall trees to the presence of other staff or, heaven forbid, actual campers. Still, the Ropes Keeper is a vital part of the camp ecosystem and helps hold the entire community together with their stoic...
Good luck with that one.
Hermeticism. Anyone know that word?
Nope.
First time I've heard it.
Okay.
It's like
is it like a hermit?
Quality of being a hermit, yeah, I believe.
Yeah, look it up. Yes, yes, it is the quality of hermetism. Yeah. A religious, philosophical, and esoteric tradition based primarily upon the writings attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. More words I can't pronounce. That's nice. But yeah, that. The Ropes Keeper is a distant individual. Their power is in quick movement, sudden shows of cold kindness, and the forest itself.
Ooh. Oh, very, very good. All right, let's create your character. What name are you going for?
So I have the choices of... I have the choices of an old name, a name said thoughtfully, a carefully chosen name, or a name with power behind it. And I am going with a carefully chosen name. And this has been carefully chosen by me out of game to be Ashley Arbor, because I quickly went and found a complete list of knots, and there is one called an Ashley Bend or an Ashley Stopper, and there's another one called an Arbor Knot.
Amazing.
So
very good.
He is named after knots.
Fantastic.
Pronouns, as suggested there, will be he, him. Describe your look. Eyes, dull eyes, hardened, pointed, or animal. I think pointed eyes. I'm not sure if he's looking through you or at you. Very much. Describe your look, body, so I can have wide set body, tense, wiry, nimble, scarred. I'm going to go with nimble. Always running up and down trees and swinging across ropes and all that kind of stuff. Describe your gender again. Just they're so good. And I'm going to go for an ancient oak.
Ancient oak. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then I've got to choose these things about some relationship with the woods and things. So I've got the question: choose how the woods first helped. Ooh, so I could have been running from a bully. The Lindworm was trying to kill me. That's good. A wise mentor showed you its wisdom. A dream guided you between the branches. You were in love here once. Oh. Ooh. I think he was running from a bully and found solace in the woods. So I got choose the woods impact. Oh, so this is kind of... Oh, I love all these things. It's just... okay. I need to read these. They're so beautiful. Overwhelms with natural beauty, reveals spoken lies with birdsong, honours pain with a shared smile, tells the truth with venerable silence, and keeps promises with sunlight. Oh, it's just... I love this game already.
It's a very well-written game, is the thing.
It's so cool.
It's incredibly evocative.
Yeah. This one's a really hard choice. I'm just going to say overwhelms with natural beauty, because I find that in nature a lot.
I think we do need that now more than anything when we're all inside.
Yeah, exactly. I want this wood to be a beautiful place. And then the last one is choose why you still have friends. You're funny. See, that's even more pressure than just puns, isn't it? At least with the puns one, you're given away. You give good advice, you listen, you're there for people when it matters. I'm going to go with your listen and go this kind of silent distic stereotype. Maybe sometimes he's been listening. It's like that classic, someone talks a lot and go, thanks, you've really helped, and they've said nothing. They've just kind of sat there quietly.
A person of few words.
But they'll sit around the fire and nod a bit.
I like the idea that someone goes like really deep and you go, but why? And you go, exactly. And then just go into it.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you, Ashley. Nice to meet you. So I'm going last. I had the choice between what was left, so that's the counsellor or the athlete. And of course I was like, well, I'll roll for it, and I got athlete, so hooray. Always choose win, yells the athlete, both on the field and in life. The athlete is cold skill, emotion transformed into a furthering of the desire to do even better in the world. That's very Jeremy Clarkson, that, wasn't it? Never assume the athlete doesn't care, even if they never show it. Feelings come secondary to victory over the Lindworm, to keep everyone else safe, to giving everyone else the space to process. Feelings are later, win is now. Excellent. The athlete is a storming individual. Their power is in restrained fury, tragic heroism, and their physical ability.
Wow.
Goodness.
Yes, I'm here to save the day, everyone. It's gonna be fine.
Thank goodness.
All right, so for me, choose your name. So I have 4 options. I have a sturdy name, a dependable name, a name that hides who you are, and a name that can be used like a battering ram. Well, it's going to be that 4th option, because...
Yes.
So I like that. I'll come back to actually thinking about that name. Describe your look. Eyes. I've got furious eyes, piercing eyes, burning eyes, and explosive eyes. I think just from that description, I'm going to go for explosive. I'm just going to be full of energy. I'm just going to be like, rah! Describe your look for the body. A coiled body, massive body, a tank of a body, or a blade of a body. I'm going to go for... Oh, let's go for a tank of a body. I feel like, not that I'd want to invite stereotypes, but whenever I think of athletes, obviously you think of like American jocks. So I think we'll go for tank for now.
And we've got some like lithe, lanky, coiled individuals already. Exactly. So good to mix it up.
Exactly. Good. Describe your gender. A glaive, lightning, health goth, sports dyke, barbarian, or lonely king. I think health goth sounds excellent.
That's amazing.
I think I'm feeling that. Choose your childhood fear. Wolves torturing your family, all your bones breaking, a bully with a sharper weapon, slowly transforming into a statue, a doll that can control you, getting robbed and killed. I feel like because sports are such an important part of this character, I feel like breaking all your bones, because then you can't play any sports and you can't do anything athletic, which would be terrifying. All right, and then I've got choose your contraband weapon. Ooh, loads of options. From a selection of options, I've got baseball bat, a broadsword, an ex-Acco knife, whatever that is.
I think it's like a Stanley knife, isn't it?
Oh God! Oh no! Explosives. An axe with barbed wire, a chainsaw, a butterfly knife, brass knuckles, or a spiked chain.
These are all very, very grim weapons for an athlete to have to hand.
I think I'm just going to go I'm going to go basic and just go for a baseball bat.
Yeah, I heard that one. I thought, okay, yeah, it's all going to be stuff that you'd find in the campsite. No, an axe with barbed wire. That's
a chainsaw. So yeah,
it's quite medieval, isn't it? Considering when this is set.
I mean, it's certainly contraband.
I'm also interested to consider how an axe with barbed wire works. Obviously, like a baseball bat wrapped with barbed wire makes sense, but the axe already has a blade. Where's the barbed wire going?
Does it go like around like the head of the axe, or like down? It probably wouldn't be down the shaft of the axe, because otherwise you'd hurt your hands.
Yeah.
If it was around the head of it, though, you'd struggle to pull it out were you to throw it to hurt somebody with it, right? It gets stuck in their clothes, so who knows? So the baseball bat is contraband, but surely if we're doing sports, then a regular baseball bat wouldn't be contraband. So is there something special about the baseball bat?
Yes, well, that's it. We've got describe the contraband weapon, so I can pick two qualities. And so let's see. It has been used to protect others 1,000 times. It has your name carved into it. Something everyone knows you by. Ties to self-destructive tendencies. Proof of your heroism. Used to defend yourself from your fear. Or something like it was given by a mentor. I think what I will do then, I am going to choose used to defend yourself against your fear. And it's something everyone else knows you by. So I think the reason why this particular bat is contraband is that basically I feel like I am always talking about baseball and I just can't get enough of it. And so it's got to that point where I've been told I'm not allowed to bring it to camp. I've got, the whole point of this camp is to be more well-rounded individuals and, test new things. So they've actually banned baseball, and we've got to do more nice things, because obviously it's not like, say, like nothing wrong with competition, but like when I win, I guess I'm one of those sore winners. It's like yeah.
I was going to say, what did this individual do previously that meant that baseball was banned? Did you like rugby tackle a 5-year-old to the ground or something when you're trying to do a home run? Or
that sort of thing. When someone's like running around doing like a home run, and I would just try and stop them. I'll just like trip them up or like also slide and go into them.
Do you remember a couple of years ago when Boris Johnson was in Japan and he was playing a touch rugby game against some Japanese school kids, and he just absolutely ploughed through one of them with his elbow?
That is exactly it. Just like, no! Exactly that. And then I'll come back to the name. A name that can be used like a battering ram. I'm going to have to go for something off the top of my head. We will go for... we'll go for Brian. That's the only name that came to my head. So Brian will be that, and I'll use he, him for that as well.
Amazing.
Right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go round and do questions. So we'll go in the same order again. So, Pat, What are your questions, or what questions are you going to choose?
So the two that I'm going to choose, I haven't decided who to ask them to yet.
That's okay.
But I'm going to ask, how did I save you from metaphorically drowning? And when's the last time we fought?
Mm-hmm.
So who might I have saved from metaphorically drowning? I think that might be an interesting one to ask Brian, given that Brian is not a character who seems like he needs saving a lot. So I think it would be interesting to see if we can find something about that out, find like some sort of vulnerability.
Nice. I would say the last time, how did you save me from metaphorically drowning? Ooh, I think that, as you can tell, sort of Brian, unlike myself, is very bombastic. And I think, or it would have been the first time we've ever been to camp. So when we all sort of met, when we were actual campers, I think everyone else was quite frightened of me because obviously I'm maybe slightly bigger than the other kids and the way I act. And as a result, I was probably left alone in one of the at lunch. And I was quite, no one would wanted to talk to me or anything like that. So it felt like socially that I was sort of drowning, not having the connections. And you were the first person sort of came over and sort of started talking to me about what you enjoy and stuff. And then you, I guess you listened to my baseball chat, which let me tell you, I can't wait to talk about. Ready on that. But yeah, I think like when we first met as kids, when we first became friends was, no one wanted to talk to me because I looked very different. I looked scary, and then you just plucked up the courage to talk to me and saved me from not having any friends on our first summer camp.
That sounds great. I like Brian more already.
We'll see.
When's the last time we fought?
Mm-hmm. So this will be to a different character.
To a different person. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I will ask this one to Ashley.
I think the last time we fought would be... I think you possibly... you borrowed some rope thinking that you needed to do something, maybe put some rope on a life ring or something by the lake because it had rotted and you just need some more. And you took it from the rope that is meant for the woods. And I was very cross at that you'd done it without asking my permission. I probably spun it as though maybe you'd taken some rope that could have made it dangerous for all of the campers and everything to be on the rope course, but it's probably just that I felt like you'd gone into my safe space and taken something.
I'd have definitely had to fight back at the suggestion that I had endangered campers. That's not what I do. I'm not like that.
That's probably then why it was a fight rather than me being upset and you saying sorry.
Yeah.
That I poked you in the wrong place there.
Yeah, especially like the idea that because Ashley, you were so connected to the woods as well, that the woods told you in some way that something's wrong.
Yes. I heard it in the rustling of the trees.
The wind through the ropes was singing wrong.
Yeah, a particularly distraught-looking squirrel.
So, it jumps from like rope to rope and then it just falls.
Oh no! Yeah.
Okay, Ember, what are your questions?
Okay, so the first one I'm going to ask to Cole, because he's not been asked a question yet. And I'm going to ask, why did you abandon the craft?
Ooh.
Interesting. So let me briefly just tell you about the concept I've got for Cole. I think Cole is fresh blood, but as it said in the intro, he's been here for quite a long time. I think he's actually older than most newbie counsellors are. I think he's been overlooked, and so he's been doing a lot of the grunt work and been at the camp and sort of been sort of assistant level, or cleans the toilets and does the grunt work for a long time. And so he's sort of been around for a few years longer. And when you're young, when you're teenagers, like a 2-year age difference is really, really big. So he's kind of a little bit of a tragic character that he hasn't been able to be promoted to this point yet. And so that's why he's so excited to finally be a counsellor. So, sorry, I went on a tangent there. Could you repeat the question?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
That's fine.
So the question was, why did you abandon the craft?
Okay, I think that there was an incident that happened while you were teaching me the craft, or we were working together in this sort of weird, spooky witchcraft and wizardry, druidic practice, whatever it is that you do sitting around the fire. So I think that when we were sitting together and you were teaching me fire watching, I think I saw something in the flames that deeply, deeply troubled me.
Ooh.
Maybe it was a vision of the future or a vision of something that's happened in my past, but I found the whole thing quite traumatic. And as a character that's quite used to being sort of quite energetic and quite in control and being like, yeah, I'm in charge of the camp, I can do this, I can run around and I clean up. And the fact that he's seen something that's outside of his control really, really spooked him. And so he sort of shut all of his, brought all the emotional barriers down. Didn't want to explore that anymore.
Awesome. That's really
Too
cool.
deep for you. And then my second question, which I feel like is too obvious to give to Pat. So I'm going to give it to Ashley instead. How did you rescue me?
Oh, okay. I think you had gone into the woods to practice some of your craft, maybe something that you haven't tried before, something a little bit more powerful, something that you felt you had to do away from the camp. So you went and away from people, just in case it went wrong, because it's one of those things that can be a little dangerous. And so you went into the woods to do it, not realizing, of course, that Ashley is always in the woods and is never near people. And I think the whatever you were doing was getting out of hand, and something in the woods alerted me to that. I kind of get the sense like you were in the middle of it, perhaps only just noticing that something was about to go wrong, and I kind of just suddenly barreled out of the undergrowth and kind of just like rugby tackled you to the floor to break your conversation, because I felt something was wrong. So it was right on the brink of something bad happening. Whether or not you thanked me, I think would be in question, because maybe you thought you could keep it under control and that I had ruined it more than saved you, but I'm pretty sure that I saved you.
Yeah. I think maybe it would have been out of habit, perhaps, acknowledged that you probably did something. It was for the best that you did that. So probably would have thanked you out of habit. But I think there is heart of Ember that is begrudging of it as well.
That is fair.
I like that. You just sort of say like, oh, thanks, Ashley. Oh God. Like,
yeah.
Now you owe him one.
Yeah. It's that, but also like deep down, I know that he doesn't believe I can do it.
Whoa. Oh, well, we'll have to get into that. Brilliant. So those are your two questions.
Those are my two questions.
Brilliant. Okay, Cole, what are your questions?
Question number 1. Why do I still resent you after all these years? I'm asking that to Pat.
Ooh. There's a sort of, I'm going immediately to the obvious thing of I made it to full counsellor before you.
Ooh.
So maybe we were on similar tracks when we were both either just campers or student counsellors, like junior counsellors. And maybe you feel like I was given more attention, maybe more mentorship than you. And so Pat ended up making it to full counsellor status. Maybe we had some sort of either a pact or like an unspoken thing that we would become full counsellors together. But then when Pat got the opportunity to be made full counsellor and you weren't, Pat took it anyway.
You left me behind, you Zuckerberged me.
No.
My second question, how did you teach me the most important lesson I could learn? And I'm going to ask this to the person that's in charge of the rope swing, Ashley.
Okay. The most important lesson you could learn.
I feel I spend a lot of time in your immediate area because I love the rope swing and I love the climbing.
True.
Oh, do you? Oh, of course, because you're flipping off sweet flips off the ropes.
Exactly.
I think the greatest lesson I had taught you, and it was kind of a metaphor that maybe you have read a little bit too much into, and perhaps Ashley didn't even intend it to be much of a metaphor and that it was just literal, and you've taken it a little bit more figuratively than you should have done, is that when it comes to setting up rope swings and tree climbings, people think it's the ropes and it's the knots that provide the strength and the safety, but actually it's choosing the right trees to attach those ropes to, which is, he's just like, that is true. That's how you want to make rope swings. But I think you may have taken it as a bit more of a...
And I'm like, wow, that's so deep, bro.
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking. Yeah. And you're just like, no, it is literally the trees. And you're like, yeah. Inside us.
So what you're saying is, I am the tree and you're the rope.
It's like, no, it's not. That's not what I meant.
It's just like, if you find a really good solid branch, like, don't tie it to a rotten one.
Great. So
I see. Get rid of toxic friendships. Yes, I get.
We all need to remove the rotten branch from ourselves, don't we?
Well, then we'll go on to Ashley. Do you want to ask your 2 questions then?
Seeing as me and Cole seem to have a bit of a woodland connection, this one makes sense to ask right back at you. What happened to make you seek refuge in my woods? Ooh. And I would like to underline that I consider these my woods.
I think that Cole has been at the campsite for a very long time. And I think that he arrives many months before camp season starts and leaves many months after it ends. And so I think that having spent so much time there and seeing how much change had happened, and perhaps from seeing his supposed pact brother go off and be promoted ahead of him, I think he was looking for sanctity elsewhere. And I think the woods are a place that he was naturally drawn to. I think he felt betrayed by the sort of the camp HQ where he usually spent a lot of his time, and he just needed to get away from there. He needed to find a new place, a new outlet for his manic energy, for his feisty eyes. And so he started climbing trees and swinging on ropes and crawling around in the undergrowth, and got rid of a lot of his energy that way. And I think it was like a fresh start for him.
Question 2. I'll throw this one out to Brian.
Oh, okay.
How did you perceive me when you saw me at my most vulnerable?
Ooh.
I know, right? Good question.
That is a good question. It would have been the same sort of thing, like sort of early on in our training, maybe a few years beyond from that graduation from sort of campers to counsellors in training. I think we would have all had to take, like, you know how like in primary schools we all had to take, basic science, math, English. I think we'd all have to take basics in everything, so that everyone has to learn how to run a fire drill. Everyone else has to run a lesson plan of some sort before specialising. I think we would all have to do a basic swimming thing, and whilst obviously Pat was obviously the best at it, and we're all it's one of those, I can imagine it just being a very cold summer morning, like really early, we're all there in our sort of various swimming trunks and stuff, and we all have to jump in and just like don't worry about stuff. And I think you were the last person to jump in, and I guess because it's so out of your element, you like being surrounded by trees, you like being surrounded by foliage, where you can disappear to it, whereas out on the dock towards the lake or the lake, the banks of the lake, whether we decide to put it, you looked really vulnerable because it's just like it's so out of your element, you're so exposed, and then going into the water where everyone else is, and it's this I guess there's the contrast, right? So compared to the trees, which are close and quiet, like the sound sometimes gets deadened, out in the water, the sound is sort of amplified. There's people splashing, there's people laughing and stuff, and it's just a cacophony of noise. And I think you were just maybe overwhelmed by it.
Okay.
Was there another part to this question? Sorry, I was just saying a lot about you.
No.
How I saw you, right?
Yeah, it's how you perceived me, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it didn't specify what my most vulnerable moment was, so...
Oh, well, whoops, okay.
No, that's good. I was interested to know what it was, and so...
And I think I would have seen that, but not done anything about it, because I wouldn't know what to do. That's why I was wondering if it said if I did anything. I think I would not have done anything about it. I would have seen it, and then maybe dived under the water and pretend it didn't happen, didn't see you like that.
So you perceived it as to be kind of something personal and not to be commented on.
I would say it would have been more awkward in the
Right.
sense of like, oh, I see someone else is having difficulties. It's that sort of like I can empathize, but I don't know how to deal with my own issues, and I don't know you at all. And having that reaction earlier on, I think people are scared of me. So I just go, it's like just noping out of a situation, and I think I just would have turned my back on it and not commented on it and not done anything about it.
So they didn't think anything. You didn't think anything less of Ashley.
No.
But if Ashley had noticed, he may have felt like you had been dismissive of it, or felt perhaps.
I think you would have seen it as being dismissive of me, but right, I would have felt like, oh, I recognise that, and I don't like recognising that feeling, so I'm gonna remove myself from that situation. If you see what I mean?
Yep.
It's now my questions, right? So I have 2 questions. I am going to go for Pat. I'm going to ask you this question: why do I feel okay opening up to you?
Difficult one. Let me think. Maybe just because Pat doesn't judge, or you trust Pat not to judge. It's not that they're sort of magically good listener in the same way that Ashley is, and always gives good advice necessarily. It's just that you know that whatever you tell Pat, they'll kind of accept it, and not try and make out that it's your fault or something that you ought to have fixed or anything like that.
Nice. No, I like that. I think that's good. And then I'm going to ask a question to Ember, if that's all right. We've already had this question, but I think it's a good one. So, how did you perceive me when you saw me at my most vulnerable?
Okay. I wonder if, so maybe there was at the end of a long day of camp, and there was the usual kind of like round the campfire, kind of huddling, bit of food, maybe a bit of songs and that kind of thing. And then as it was dying down, people were going off to bed. I was at the fire doing my thing. I think that Brian had, for some reason in that moment, felt that he was safe. Like, as much as he probably thinks that Ember is a bit bananas, I think is one of those, like, when you're around people that you know and trust, actually sometimes it's quite hard to talk about deeply personal things, but when you're around people who you actually don't feel connected to, sometimes it can be easier. So I think maybe he had some personal stuff going on that suddenly he was like, actually, you know what, I can talk to her about it. And Ember probably responded by switching out of her kind of spacey woo-woo and kind of actually genuinely connecting with him for a moment. And she saw the truth of him, I think. And I think, I don't know how comfortable he is about that now, but I think in her mind, she stared into Brian the same way that she stares into fire.
Whoa. The idea that Brian wanted to talk to someone, and just, I guess, you know, it's that sort of thing where you want to voice feelings out, but you don't necessarily want to be told the truth. You want people to agree with you. And I think you saw straight through Brian's sort of like, I don't want to say like brick wall that he's built up, because obviously he's like, sports is life. But seeing through that and seeing like a vulnerable person, I would say that it's completely frightened Brian, and so it's maybe a bit wary of you as a result. Like, oh no, you've got this thing on me, which you know is, as adults we're like, that's totally cool and I appreciate it, but like as teenagers you're like, no. Yeah.
So does Ember just stand watching people, staring at them from opposite ends of the
I think she does. I think that,
and every now and again just goes,
Oh my god, yes. I like the idea. When you want to look deeper, you put like your hand, your fingers to your temple, and you squint like Professor X. Like
not even like in a subtle, just kind of arms crossed, staring, strokey chin kind of way. Actually, like fingers to the temple.
Stick your hands out like this.
Yeah.
She just walks past people and like strokes their face.
And you're like, it's okay, I understand, and then just walk off.
You're like, wait, what? The last thing we've got to do on the characters is read out our laws. So we'll go round again, so just read it out so that everyone knows, essentially. So, Pat, what is your lore?
My lure is every time someone asks for my help to stay afloat, they gain a token.
Ember, what is your lore?
Every time someone questions my eccentric worldview, they get a token.
Oh my goodness. I think everyone's going to get a token from you at some point.
Yeah, it's going to be XP. Go.
Brilliant. Okay, Cole, what's your lure?
Every time someone acknowledges what they can learn from you, they get a token.
Ashley?
Every time someone runs to your woods to escape a problem, they get a token. Everybody come to my woods.
Sorted.
Wood party.
The tokens bring all the people to your woods.
They're like, these are really good woods.
Brilliant. Okay, and then my lure as the athlete is every time someone respects you and your autonomy, they get a token. So good luck with that one, chaps. Making a heartfelt connection in a dewy field. Glimpsing an unwelcome visitor in the woodline. Stewing on unspoken thoughts while sunlight beats us into stillness. Speaking our fears over the fire. Fleeing the monster, wearing a friend's skin. These may all be part of a game, moments of the conversation. Players add to these moments by making moves. Whenever a player wants to take action upon the world or take their turn in a conversation, they make a move. Sometimes through their character, and sometimes in different ways, such as a setting element or a ritual. Moves push the story forward and allow players to act upon the world. The most common moves that players will ever make are take action and leave yourself vulnerable, and invite the Lindworm to act upon the group. When in doubt, players should always make a move. When players make a move, they must name the move they are making, follow what it says, and add it to the fiction. There are 3 kinds of moves: strong, regular, and weak. Strong moves put the characters in a better position going forward. Weak moves leave characters worse off or in a more painful place. And regular moves offer mixed results. Players can't make strong moves all the time because they must spend a token to make a strong move, and all players start the game with 0 tokens. To get tokens, players must make weak moves or engage with other characters' narratives by fulfilling their lure. The world isn't just the characters. It's also the misty lake with its splintered dock, the cool woods and the whiner mosquitoes, the sunny field. It's all the campers, those lovable weirdos. It's the traditions we've kept, and those we have lost, and even the strange magics at the edge of all things. Whenever it feels right, players can pick up one of the setting elements and have it support the game. Whilst holding it, they control that aspect of the world. Sometimes that setting element will be literal. Sometimes it won't. Setting elements let players make moves beyond those available on their character sheets. These moves add to the conversation just like any move, except setting elements never have to worry about tokens. At the beginning of play, each player must choose a setting elements sheet to hold and represent at the start of the game. So we've got the field, woods, the lake, campers, magic and strangeness. And we all have one to look after from the beginning. I will say the only one that is already sort of predetermined is the woods. Ironically enough, that it goes straight to the ropes keeper. So you will already have that. Is there any other elements that speaks to people? And then we can go around in the same order as before.
It actually says on the magic, the crafter begins with the magic, but should put it down quickly.
Perfect. Well, then you start with the magic one. That's perfect. Excellent.
And I have one that I'm not allowed to start with and shouldn't pick up under most circumstances, which is the lake.
Right. So which one would you like to pick up, Pat?
So I think I'm narrowed down to the field, the campers, or the strangeness. Mm-hmm. So I'll challenge myself and start with the campers.
Nice. All right. So when you start with an element, you get to choose 2 sort of elements to go with it, and those are sort of locked in for the rest of the game.
So is this for each camper choose 2 genders?
Yes. I see. Sorry, I've mistaken. So yes, so basically, when we create campers, they are essentially like ourselves. Anyone can play them. Multiple people can play them. Every time we create one, whoever's holding this can choose the 2 genders from the column, and then we can copy and paste it and have them to hand, essentially. So you can have a read through just now, but we're not going to create any campers just yet.
And it's a good long list of genders, like the fresh blood gets.
Excellent. All right, well, then we'll move on. Ember, you're picking up magic.
Yes.
So what visual metaphors are you picking?
Let's see. Okay, well, I feel like flaming embers is too on the nose. let's have some diversity of magic here. So I really like a specific knobbled tree, and that ties in a lot with the woods as well.
Nice.
And then I think, to tie in with Ember and myself, I think we're going to go with fireflies as well.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Cole, which one would you like to pick up at the beginning of the game?
So what's left is the field,
Mm-hmm.
the lake, and the strangeness, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take the field.
Nice. Choose 2 aesthetic elements. Oh, I can't say that word. Choose 2 elements.
I will choose 2 aesthetic elements.
Very good.
Thank you. Number 1, it is going to be vibrant. And number 2, let's make this fun. It's going to be teeming with life.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, Ashley, you get the woods.
So, write your impact. So this was overwhelmed with something beauty, natural beauty.
Yeah, that's right.
Choose aesthetic elements. Oh, wow, there's loads. Okay. I think it's going to be tangled. I quite like it being quite, at least parts of it, not being well managed, being real kind of wild, and you have to know the routes through it if you're going to get through it easily. Oh. And I want it to be a healing place.
Ooh. So I as the last person, I get a choice between the lake or the strangeness. I feel like taking the strangeness will be too on the nose for Brian. I gotta be honest. So I will take the lake. That doesn't mean to say that the strangeness is not in play. And this is the thing as well, once we start with them, we can take from other players as well if they want to. We just have to say it out loud and then move it around on the Myra board. So don't feel like just because you've got something, you are the ownership of that. No, it's all free-flowing as well. So you can feel free to pick up the strangers at any point. So in terms of the lake, 2 elements are... Oh gosh, there's loads. One of the options is algae-filled, which I think I'm going to go for. I like the idea is, when you're a kid, you're like, hooray, we get to jump at the lake. And as an adult, you're like, oh God, why would I do that?
When you're walking down beside the canal and it's so covered in algae that it looks like a solid surface, and there's always that temptation in the back of your mind to just step out onto it.
Like, see if it's like the consistency of, was it like custard or something like that? Oh, well, in that case, then, I think I would also go for the other element. I'm going to go for deceiving. I have that sort of idea as well. The Lindworm is the monstrosity that haunts the summer camp. It is the bane of the council's existence, and it will destroy everything they have built if they're not careful. It is the trauma of history, the collective pain of a cruel society, and the violence inflicted upon the marginalised and the vulnerable. It is said to be around 10 feet tall, with arms like tree branches, papery flesh, and a mouth full of too many teeth. It is a shapeshifter and will steal people's skin after flaying them alive. At the beginning of the session, someone in the group must ask the space they're in if the Lindworm is there, and if it would like to play. They must give it around 30 seconds to respond. The key thing to remember is that no one player roleplays the Lindworm, ever. The chosen player discovers the actions of the Lindworm through a deck of cards, which is channeling the Lindworm's ghost. When the players invite the Lindworm to act, they must all close their eyes. The chosen player then opens their eyes and looks at the top 3 cards of the deck. That player then chooses one of the cards and places it as the Lindworm sees fit, in front of a specific player, a particular location on the map, or even sitting atop the deck to indicate its general atmosphere. It is up to everyone to interpret the meaning of the card based on the Lindworm card action table. Players must interpret the Lindworm's play as brutally as possible, building from some or all of the card's cues. If a player uses a strong move, they may soften the Lindworm's action. This doesn't remove the consequences, but it allows the player to redirect them. Remember, no one ever roleplays the Lindworm, no matter what. So obviously, it's a bit tricky when we're all online, but what I will do, I will say in the chat, you can all set it to just to message me privately. And what we'll do, we'll invite the Lindworm to play, and if anyone feels strongly that they wish to roleplay it, just type it into the chat to me. And then what will happen is that when we invite the Lindworm to act, I will draw the cards physically, and then I will put them out on the mirror board for us to see. And then we will all close our eyes, and then whoever is channeling the Lindworm can choose which one they want and put it wherever. So, if everyone's set their Zoom just to private message me, I'll also ask for people to shut their eyes so that you don't see someone just typing away going, yes, me, just to close your eyes. I will ask the Lindworm, would you like to join us for our game? Would you like to play? All right, you can open your eyes. Once the players and their setting elements have been chosen, it's time to create the summer camp. Together, players must draw a map of their summer camp using the prompts from the summer camp sheet to guide their process. First thing, we're going to all go around and pick one thing to draw on the thing. So you see, sort of step one, we've got the field at the centre of camp, the lake, the fire pit, the oldest tree in the woods, and the bunks. We'll go in reverse order for this one, but I will go last still. So, Ashley, which one of those would you like to draw, and where would you put it on our map?
It's going to have to be the oldest tree in the woods.
Nice.
And it is... it's going to have to be somewhere off to one side, I think. Like, be nice if the woods were on the kind of the cusp of everything. So, where's my little pen? Get ready for some amazing
I'm excited.
5-year-old drawing skills.
So excited.
Oh no, it's automatically made the lines really straight. Boo.
That looks like a really tall tree, though, like this perspective of it.
Oh yeah, I want it to be real tall and have a big old hole in there. And this under here is Ashley's hammock.
Oh.
I just made it into a single line.
I'll leave you to get on if you want to decorate it even more if you wish. But Cole, what would you like to draw?
I'm going to be drawing the bunks.
Excellent.
The bunks are going to be on the opposite side of the campground so that the campers, aren't tempted to go and play with the oldest tree in the woods. Go and graffiti on it or smoke behind it or wee on it or anything like that. They need to be kept far away.
Excellent.
And I will begin to draw, but talk amongst yourselves while I attempt to draw bunks.
we're not gonna judge your artistic skill, but we might comment on it. Oh, I see. Those are our bunk beds. Okay, I wasn't 100% sure what they were.
It's an interesting interpretation.
All right. Well, as you're doing that, Ember,
yes.
You've got 3 things left. You've got the field at the centre of camp, the lake, or the fire pit. I have an idea, but
I mean, it's got to be the fire pit,
right.
Surely. And I'm going to selfishly put it right in the middle.
Nice, excellent.
Because I can. And oh, right, okay. Oh, I've not got any brown. Wait,
No, there is-
Strat did have brown.
Yeah, I was going
I had to make brown. You can use the
Custom
little plus. Custom brown.
Wait, there are colours? Oh, I can adjust the thickness as well. Oh my god.
And this is why you were made camp councillor last. Pat, you've either got the field at the centre of camp or the lake.
I'm going to go left field and not do the lake as the lifeguard. I will do the field at the centre of camp, which means I'm going to draw around the fire pit.
Nice.
You can get a nice collaborative drawing going on here.
All right,
This is vibrant and teeming with life.
I'll get the bright yellow of the fire going first, so you can, my scope.
I like how the fire pit is almost as tall as the oldest tree in the forest. I've got to...
It's a big fire pit.
So are the bunk beds, to be fair.
Beds are huge.
It's not to scale this, Matt, right?
They're triple bunk beds as well. Like ramming them in there.
Coincidentally, the field at the centre of camp is roughly baseball diamond shaped.
No way!
Field of Dreams.
Just makes the baseball ban sting even harder.
It's awful. I'm going to go for the lake. Well, you've not left me much space. That's okay.
Sorry, I made the field very large.
It's a teeny tiny lake. I'm going to go up sort of... for us, sort of looking back on it once we're finished, it's going to be a teeny tiny pond. We'll go top left. So it's just a little bit... It's close to the bunks.
I feel these are just like, I don't know, like sketches, like artistic sketches before they actually built them. So... I don't know how much they're paying this architect, though, because it's an awful drawing.
So I wouldn't feel very safe on that ladder.
Oh, no, those rungs are very uneven. Like, that is a health and safety risk.
Everybody's a critic, aren't they? They're quite old, so,
I think for the listeners' benefit, you need to detail the field at the centre of camp is populated.
Oh, it
is good.
Yeah. And we have, I think, what is a little orange rabbit.
I was going for brown. I couldn't quite mix it right.
Right, yeah. And a sheep with no facial features or ears. Or a cloud that's fallen down, possibly.
Oh, no.
It tells something that having drawn a rabbit and a sheep, I've now gone on to drawing, like, tufts of grass. I found my level.
I was trying to do artistic, grass, like Pat was doing for the field, and I've gone, you know what, sod it, just...
I'm going to add some benches to around the campfire.
Ooh, very good, otherwise we're standing up all the time.
There's a jetty on the lake, that's so good.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm glad you could tell it was a jetty, not just something with, 5 legs, which is what I was worried it was.
I'm just going to add...
Something's going in the lake.
Dun-dun. Dun-dun.
Is it a duck?
It's a little black duck.
Oh, very cute.
Big as the jetty?
Yeah.
It's a giant
Oh my god.
It's just really close, and the jetty is far away.
Exactly. Step 2, each player chooses one. We will go with Ashley. Which one of these would you like to add to the map?
I reckon I'm going to go with the sneaking path.
Nice.
I like the sound of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put the sneaking path... I guess there's no rules of where the sneaking path begins and ends, right?
Nope.
Right, so the sneaking path is going to go around the bottom, the bunks, which I'm guessing is in our cabin, skirt around the field, right along the edges of the thing, and it's going to kind of come up and into the forest.
Nice.
This is our sneaky path.
Josh put so much effort into putting the bunks as far away from the forest as possible. Stop the campers going missing.
Mm-hmm. This is the sneaky path.
But the sneaking path means they get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Cole, what would you like to add to the map?
I'm going to yes and the sneaking path. So why on earth would you need to sneak to go to the woods from your dormitory? Well, of course, because en route is the secret kissing grove.
Hey, yeah.
Oh.
Gonna be over here.
I like this. All the other stuff, that's the camp that's in the brochures that the parents see. This is the camp that they're actually coming for. Sneaky kissing.
Yeah, the zine they photocopy.
Yeah.
What's this kissing grove looking like then? Was it just like a couple of bushes, or is it like a proper hideaway?
Can you not tell from my artificial...
I'm vamping for time. I want to just...
So the secret kissing grove, I think, is like shielded by like a wall of trees off from the sneaking path, and it's quite hard to get through because we know that the woods are overgrown and quite viney and tangled, I think was the word that was used. So I think if you just know where to go, where to push through, then down a little secret path next to a lovely little pond, which I'm just drawing now, is the Love Grove, the secret kissing grove.
I think that's PG.
Yeah. Has Cole ever been to the secret kissing grove?
No, I don't think he has. No. He's
But you've
asked
heard
people.
of it.
Yeah, he's heard it. He's asked to I don't know, remove it a few times or clean it up, but it never does.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. He's had to litter pick the secret kissing grove.
No.
I know.
That's so sad. Ember, which one of these would you like to add to the map?
I'm going to and the secret kissing grove. And I'm going to add to it that it's got an abandoned stone well.
Ooh, love it.
Which adds to the beauty of the spot.
Well, also, of course, kissing is very thirsty work, so you might want to go and get yourself some water mid-kiss.
Exactly. Maybe the pond has sprung up because the well is abandoned. It's no longer maintained.
Yes. I like it. Hat, which one of these would you like to add to the map?
I'm going to make sure that there's at least some amenities in the official camp.
Nerd.
And just to play to type, I'm going to add a performing stage.
Yes.
Well done, Matt.
Excellent.
One of us had to.
So what kind of performing stage are you thinking of then, Pat?
I'm thinking it's got to be slightly ramshackle, knocked together out of wood planks, with a, not so ramshackle that it's just a dais. It is a proscenium. It has a roof to keep the rain off. It has a rudimentary curtain, but it's still outdoors, and it's for sort of camp karaoke and camp talent performances and all that kind of thing.
Right. Well, whilst you get on with that, let me see. So the things we've got left, we've got the nurse's cabin, the creek with mud castles, the field everyone dreams about, the best stargazing field, the hidden picnic bench, the peroglyph boulders. Well, so that's probably not going to be used because I can't say it. The swamp full of mosquitoes, the path covered in cairns, and the mushroom log. I think I'm going to go for the creek with mud castles. I was thinking nurse's cabin to help with the amenities, but you know what? No. As a person, I don't care about that. We don't need a nurse. We'll be fine. I'm a health goth. It's fine.
And the woods are healing, so...
Exactly.
Get you in the woods and we're sorted.
Yeah. Just apply a bit of bark to an arm as a sling.
Yes. All those things you're meant to rub on stinging nettles, it's just all that.
Yeah.
Dockweed. All dock leaves, yeah.
So I'm going to say the creek is going to come up from to the north of the map, so it's going to come down and go... I think it's going to go into the lake at some point. It's just going to go off map, and then I'm going to put mud castles. Very sort of... not swamp-like, but when it's rained, you could possibly have big shifts in the landscape. It's probably quite one of those, like a mudslide essentially. That maybe a couple of wayward campers might go slide down in the summer.
I mean, this is a work of art.
It's beautiful.
I didn't realise that we'd have to draw more than just our initial 5 areas. I would have made the bunk slightly smaller to conserve space.
No.
It's fine.
That's how big they are.
All right, step 3. So as a group, we get to choose 2. So we've got a camp cat, courageous leaders, a culture of honesty, economic prosperity, minimum camper drama, long administrative memory, protected property, easy access to public transport, and understanding parents.
Cat, we have a cat.
I was going to say, can we have a cat, please?
But you know what's going to happen when the Lindworm arrives, don't you?
I'm happy for a cat, if everyone else is.
Yep.
Yeah.
On your heads be it if you don't look after it and it gets munched on.
All right, so if a couple of people could draw a cat where it might hang out or anything like that, or just put something symbolic on the map.
I think the cat has claimed the top bunk.
Oh no.
Nice.
All right, what about the second thing then? So I know we all love the cat.
To say, what else do we need?
Yeah, I don't care about anything else with a cat. That's fine.
Maybe culture of honesty.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
There's a sort of like, we'd rather you told us, we won't be mad, we just want to know what's gone on kind of attitude with the campers.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you think that Ember has like truth and honesty hour around the campfire where everybody has to tell like one, something they've never told anybody before, or like we all talk about our feelings?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have to do like a traffic light system. Like, how's everyone feeling today? I'm on an amber.
Yeah.
I'm on an Ember. And do you reckon the kids secretly hate it and they just don't talk? And Ember's just like, come on, guys, who wants to go first? Come on, who wants to hold?
You put your hand up. Ember puts her hand up. Who wants to go first? Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
I mean, we have to lead by example if we want a culture of honesty in our camp.
Exactly.
Do you think there's like a tennis ball of honesty or like the stick of truth or something?
Yes.
Yes. Draw that as a symbol.
I think it's like an old stick from the woods, maybe a bit that's fallen off the big old tree, and that you can only share your true self, your true honesty to the group if you're holding that stick. Otherwise, you've got to wait your turn.
Just to add to the stick, could it be like have been there for as long as the camp has? It like has had carvings in it and it's like that sort of really smooth wood that it's been handled at, and it's something a bit weird about it. And it's since there's probably something deeper about the stick, and it's now just used to allow people to talk.
I like the idea that like there's like this culture behind it, like, oh, we got it from the oldest tree in the wood, but like at any point you could go to their version of B&Q and it's like, oh god, we've broken the stick, oh no, and then replace it with something else, and then every summer it's something different. But I like that as a symbol for sure. So if someone wants to draw that in the center of the field, or you could have several different sticks.
Do you reckon we've got like a camp flag that's planted outside the entrance and our symbol is just the stick?
Like the stick with a hand around
stick.
it.
Yeah, like a noble house in Game of Thrones with their sigil. That's our camp.
Well, to be fair, it is called the Whispering Pines, so
I'm also imagining are you not able to express things honestly to us in words? Why don't you get up on the performing stage and
oh my goodness,
mime your feelings?
Oh wow.
No.
Love it.
Two campers that are massively into it, and the rest of them are just sat there going, oh no, can't we just go swimming?
And if you can't perform on the performing stage, you could tell your secrets to the terrifyingly huge cat that's in your bunk.
I need to ask, what's the name of the camp cat?
Oh,
Stick.
Branch.
Twiggy.
Twiggy. I like Twiggy.
Yeah, Twiggy's
Yes. Obviously named after the icon, but actually has deeper meaning.
All right, step 4. Each player details one thing. So we've got here stuff like where the fire pit used to be, where the frogs used to sing, all these sort of things. So again, we'll go around in that same order. So Ashley, what do you think for this?
Fire pit used to be, frogs sing, fairy houses used to be built, where a path used to go, where you used to sneak away to watch... Sorry, Nat, could you move your mouse? It just says where you would sneak away to watch Natalie Winter at the moment. The sunrise, to watch the sunrise. That's good. It's different. Where the witch was spotted. I'm going for that. That sounds like a brilliant camp myth.
Yeah, definitely.
It's passed down from camp to camper. That's where the witch was spotted, but no one's ever seen it. They've always heard from previous campers. It's always from previous campers. That's where the witch was spotted. So I think the witch is going to have been spotted.
I would suggest that it was spotted by the abandoned stone well. That she was somewhere watching people kiss and then would hide in the well. I don't know.
I was thinking that she was spotted just walking into the lake.
Ooh, that's also good. I like that. Yeah.
Actually, I think I'd say she was seen just stepping off of the jetty.
Ooh,
yes,
scary.
into the mist.
Yeah.
Scary.
Lady of the Lake Star.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cole, what would you like to detail?
I was going to take the witch, so that's all right. Not a problem at all, because I'm going to go for this is quite sad, where you used to sneak away to watch the sunrise.
Oh.
Who's been here? So is this everybody? Everybody's been here, or is it just my character?
It'll be your character, something that, because it's something that's specific to you.
Fine. So Cole's been here for a long time. He knows the best place to see the sunrise, and that is at the highest point of the camp, which is on top of the oldest tree in the woods.
That's an impressive climb to go in the dark to see the sunrise.
How often would you say Cole goes to watch the sunrise, would you say?
Whenever he's sad.
Oh.
Or whenever he's high. One of the two.
And or both.
Ember, what would you like to detail?
Okay, I'm gonna stick on theme, and I'm gonna take where the fire pit used to be, and I reckon that it used to be practically closer to the bunks and the log houses. And I think that was a more practical position for it, because the kids could gather around the fire, have their meal, play games or whatever, and then go to bed. But now, I think Ember has petitioned for it to be moved to where it is now, because that's where the ley lines are.
Excellent. Brilliant.
And I reckon it's actually probably a bit impractical now. It's kind of in the way. It's reduced the sports field play area a little bit. It's closer to the forest, which is obviously dangerous with the fire, but it's where the ley lines are. It's important that the fire is there.
Pat, what would you like to add?
Where the kids kissed when you were young. I think when we were young, there was none of this secret kissing grove nonsense. When we were young, kids kissed in the lake and used like swimming practice as a way to hide their kissing. But then a witch was spotted at the lake, and the lake became full of algae, and that became impractical. It wasn't as romantic in the lake anymore, so the kids had to find somewhere new.
I'm glad you kind of went that way. That's a bit more romantic, because I thought you were going to say, no, in my day, we didn't go sneak off to the secret kissing grove to kiss. We just did it in the open, out in front of all the adults. And they put up with it in my day.
So what have I got left? I've got where the frogs used to sing, where the fairy houses used to be built, where the path used to go, where you realised you weren't straight, where the oldest cabins are, where you confessed your childhood crush, and where great battles of youth took place. Well, naturally, I feel the last one speaks to me, where the great battles of youth took place. They would have taken place around where the beautiful summer camp flag is. I'd only just seen that. That's a... when I squinted it long enough, it does look like a hand holding a stick.
You do really have to squint, though. I apologise.
No, that's fine. I'm just like, it looks like an upside down match. That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking some kind of funny cigarette.
I think because when the fire pit got built, and during that sort of process, the actual field itself was, it's got animals in and stuff like that, so we weren't necessarily allowed to play the sports out there, even though it's in the shape of a baseball diamond. So what we would do instead is sort of rally around the flag and do a sort of weird capture the flag with only using one flag, and then get told off constantly, like, no, it's our only flag. We can't, you don't put that down to me, etc. That sort of... And then we just, again, that sort of thing where you're playing tag and running around and trying to, maybe on the edges, actually, so between the flag and the edges of the wood, the people would maybe duck in and hide behind some of the trees and then duck out, because there's that fear as well, like knowing that the deeper you get into the wood, the darker it is, and there's that sort of always that weird mysteriousness, I guess. The final thing is we all need to decide what happened last time. So basically this would be an event that affected all of us prior to this sort of one shot, something that we've all shared as an experience and something that we can explore in play. So I'll read them out for what we've got. We've got half the camp danced into the lake and woke up freezing. Flayed animals roamed the woods. One of your friends died. The cops showed up and shut everything down. Each one of you got a scar in the same place on your faces, and no one remembers. It's been too long.
These are dark.
They are dark. I think, again, it's that sort of thing where it bonded us together. And so this would have happened, this idea of what happened would have happened to us when we were campers. So not necessarily like last summer when we were councils or anything like that. It's something that happened when we were younger, and it's something that bonded us together.
I was just going to say I find the lake one very compelling.
Yeah, same. I was going to say that.
Lake?
Yeah.
Excellent. What mysteries does the Whispering Pines Summer Camp hold for our camp counsellors? Find out next time on What Am I Rolling? The What Am I Rolling podcast was created, recorded, and edited by me, Fiona Howat. This episode's players were Matt Boothman, Natalie Winter, Josh Yard, and Richard Stratton from the Merely Roleplayers podcast. Be sure to check them out on their website, www.merelyroleplayers.com, and wherever you listen to podcasts. This episode's RPG was Sleepaway, a game of horror, dreams, and summer camp, written by J Dragon. You can find out more information about Sleepaway and J Dragon's other products on Ichigo. The theme music was 8-Bit March by Twin Musicon of twinmusicon.org, licensed under a Creative Commons 4.0 license. If you want to find out more about the podcast, check out the website. That's www.wairpodcast.com. Fancy getting in touch? Email the podcast at whatamirollingpodcast@gmail.com. Finally, follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at WAIR_podcast for latest news on upcoming episodes. And remember, adventurers need not apply. Whispering Pines Summer Camp is twinned with the town of Sheridan. Visit Sheridan for its historic cobble market street, or the frankly improbable variety of rare birds found in the town's ancient woodland. If you want some quiet time, why not check out our local library? It has a whole wing donated by noted horror writer Calistaria Softbinding. Just be careful which books you check out. Some of them are real killer reads. Audio tours of Sheridan, guided by knowledgeable locals, are available from the Merely Roleplayers podcast. Visit merelyroleplayers.com for more information, or search your usual podcasting app for Merely Roleplayers.